So I want to go back to the quarterback room as well and, Connor, get your kind of thoughts on this. It's way too early, but I had David Connor on. He kind of stirred the pot a little bit. I said, hey, who's going to be your Dark Knight? I don't know if you saw this clip or not of this upcoming season. He goes, it's going to come out of your quarterback room. And it was just like, what the hell, dude? Like, why are you stirring it up? And I'm seeing the practice, the tapes. Here's my take on it. This is my opinion on it. For me, it looks like 1, 2, 3. I'm putting Mertz, Max, Jack. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, I think Jack has the edge, obviously, of knowing the offensive better, having a couple more years under his belt than Max Brown. All I'm going off of is, again, we're talking 4 or 5 clips of just seeing these guys throw the ball. And what I know of Jack, I was huge on Jack last year. He didn't really impress me much in the ball game. I know that you can't really, hold him accountable, but something I noticed last year was a little bit of a soft touch on the ball. I felt like that was maybe just more of a practice thing. It seems to still be carrying over, and that's not going to translate well onto the field. Max Brown's out there slinging it like a ball player. I mean, he just looks good. Now, again, I'm reaching here. We're talking 4 clips. Let's not get it twisted here. But I want to get your thoughts, kind of what you're hearing. Is Mertz really kind of stepping up and taking over? Obviously, we talked about it a little bit, but he's adjusting to things well. But is he also taking control of the offense, or is it still kind of a pretty tough battle right now?
I mean, it's hard to really fully take over the number one spot two practices in. I will say, from a leadership perspective, he's done a great job. Like I told you, since he's gotten on campus, of getting guys on the field to throw for extra throwing, extra routes, extra practice, all that good stuff. You're only 2 spring practices in. I don't expect them to name a starter anytime soon.
Sure.
I quite frankly, I wouldn't even expect them to name one before fall camp starts. Now, do I think Mertz ends up being the starter? Yes, I do. But I know that him and Jack are going to continue to battle back and forth in the spring. Max is somebody that I think has a lot of raw potential, but he still has to get there. I think the biggest thing that's going to be the difference between maybe someone like a Jack Miller and then a Max Brown is going to be the mental side of the game.
Sure.
The staff really loves Jack Miller and his ability to comprehend what's going on, his ability to understand the offense, and Max is still working on that.
Okay.
A lot of times quarterbacks will get there, enroll early in January. Max Brown didn't get the opportunity to do that last year. So this is his first spring practice. This will be Jack Miller's second. And
Sure.
then Graham Mertz first with the program as well. So, I mean, if I had to give you an order right now that I think it'll shake out to, it would be Mertz, Miller, and then Brown.
Okay. Look, I think, obviously, me being a fan, I'm just going off a few clips. Like I said, I'm trying to get fired up for whatever it may be. To me, right now, the quarterback's wide open, in my opinion. I would be excited to see anybody come in and take over. Max Brown, in my opinion, is the only true Billy guy. He went out and recruited Max Brown, kind of like going back to that class, a very under-the-radar quarterback. But speaking, I know Dave, our stat guy, he has some stats for Max Brown, and it kind of, that's where, can you mention some of those? Because I know that's where a lot of people look to. It's like, man, the guy was a baller in high school.
Yeah, for his career, I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking that up as we were talking about Max Brown. He's thrown for 4,416 yards in high school, but his completion rating off the charts, 71.6% completion rating, and he's averaged 17.3 yards per throw.
Now, he was throwing to Jeremiah
touchdowns.
Smith and Jackson Smith from Ohio State, but that's besides the point.
Hey, hey, all you have to do is give a quarterback a good offensive line and some talent around him, and let him know the playbook. And once he knows the playbook,